Welcome back to Battle for the Rift by Giant Slayers. We get into our final series of the day. Tribe going to be taking on Trovonova in the highlight match for me in particular when it comes to our quarterfinal matches in this day. And then we still have to wait till tomorrow where we have our semifinals and, of course, our grand finals kickoff to determine who's the best team on the Rift when it comes to Europe. I'm Jason Kaplan, joined by Maxman, Excoundrel. And Excoundrel, we know Tribe. I want you to talk us through this team really quickly. I want you to talk to us about why should we be invested into this team? Why are they built up to be such an exciting team and good team to watch in Europe?
Well, they are made up of some of the best mobile MOBA players in existence. Leon, widely hailed as the best Vainglory player to have ever played the game. Even though he maybe doesn't have the competitive accolades to go with it, he was just known as mechanically by far and beyond the best individual player that Vainglory had to offer. He's transitioned that work ethic and passion into Wild Rift. They've got Doom, a guy called I'm the Doom. He was known as one of the best players on the European server in Vainglory 2. Both of them frequently held the number 1 and 2 spots in Vainglory for over a year at a time, which is a ridiculous accolade to have. You've got Snitch, who a lot of you might know from the Heroes of the Storm scene. He has transitioned into mobile MOBAs and has a lot of I would guess knowledge power when it comes to playing out the MOBA. He's got a big brain. I'm going to say it's like 5,000 IQ big brain for Snitch. A lot of great stuff from him. So they've got a huge array of wealth of talent from loads of different MOBAs all pulled together in a single team. And they have as well some extra people added, Friend and Clue, two guys that were picked up from the Wild Rift solo queue ladder, and they have both proved to be a formidable bot lane too.
Yeah, for me, you look at Snitch in particular, Snitch and Leon, and there's a couple of names in there in general when it comes to European Wild Rift, but they're, for me, the faces of Wild Rift when it comes to the European scene. And on the other side, Max, I mean, we're literally just casting Trovonova in the Baron Fight event that happened a few weeks back, and we recognize all of these names. This team can be extremely good, but as you talked about before we went to the break here, they've kind of stagnated, right? They haven't really propelled themselves forward to be able to battle against the likes of Navi, of Team Queso, but that by any means doesn't mean they're not a strong team.
I mean, they're definitely one of the best teams in the region for sure. I mean, that's why they're here in the first place, where they got invited, right? But the thing that I think that they have going in their favor is the fact that since we've known Trovonova, they've always had this team. It's always been Clemmer, Vex, Veos, Hydro, Grizz. I could literally just say it without even looking, and I just recognize these guys all the time. They're always going to be this super team that has extremely strong team synergy. Where they struggle, though, is when they start to get map control, when they start to focus especially objectives. And that's where Tribe also excel. You talked about it, especially during the break, right? That Leon, he can split push, he will split push. If you're not able to deal with that, you're going to lose gold, you're going to be losing map presence. So we need to see a different kind of Trovonova. If they play like they've been doing for the past few months, I'm clearly going to have to say I don't think is enough to beat the new Tribe of today.
And maybe that's... Or go ahead, Excoundrel.
No, I was going to say, Leon is a ridiculously aggressive player as well. He will fight you in the laning phase. He will look for 1v1s. He'll look to push any advantage that he can. So I'm just excited to see that.
I mean, seeing Leon, one of the first times I watched him actually play Wild Rift, he was playing Camille top lane, and he was just making quick work out of anyone out there. His mobility was fantastic. You know what's also fantastic? The draft's ready to go. We're going to head straight into it as we kick off our final series of the day with Maxman and Excoundrel.
Thank you very much, Jason. And indeed, this is going to be our very last Beer 3 series of the day. And it's going to be between Trovonova and Tribe. And there you go. Hey, Jason just called it. He talked about how good Leon was on the Camille, but instant ban away. Hey, he's not happy in the headset, man. He's pissed off. And normally I'm the curse caster, okay? So I understand, but this time it's Jason, the curse host, apparently.
But they're really targeting Leon here with the Fiora ban as well. I mean, Leon, I did mention aggressive, carry-orientated Baron lane player. He will just whack out these Camille and Fiora picks and just go in 1v1 whenever he finds the opportunity. Akali being taken off the board. Do you know what's really interesting? Every time I've watched Tribe, they've banned Akali. Even when Akali wasn't considered ridiculously OP, Akali has just been a consistent ban for them. I'm just guessing that, and I think I've watched Leon stream, he just can't play versus Akali. He just always says, I hate Akali, and doesn't really enjoy playing against her. So that's no surprise to see the Tribe roster banning that away. Wonder what the final ban will be here from Trovonova. Remember, Ziggs has not yet been touched. Diana still available. Braum still up and going. Lee Sin as well. Kai'Sa. Lots of big power picks are left on the table. The Braum will be the focus here for Trovonova. I wonder if Tribe go for the Diana last ban here. It has obviously been a very powerful pick throughout today's tournament. We've seen a lot of it picked and banned throughout. But there are The Kaiser as well, another one that we mentioned. Yeah. Yeah,
Ziggs actually make it for the first time. For the first time today, he got banned every single game of the first 3 series of the day. They went 2-0, so that means we had 6 bans on that champion so far. I'm not really good in math, but that I'm pretty sure that is the right number we're going for. First pick Rengar though, that's a surprising one. So Ziggs, I mean, Snitch played it a lot. You see him on his streams. He plays Ziggs if possible. It is a champion in competitive. Is just I think. Super uber duper broken, so that's going to come on through, and there you go, and also paired up with the Gragas. Okay, this is looking already really strong for Tribe.
Yeah, it's a Ziggs. You don't let a Ziggs slip in competitive right now. He's just got so much lane shove potential, and as I said, the one thing that Ziggs is particularly good at is just snowballing tower advantages. The Diana left open though and will be picked up. Now, obviously a rough early laning phase for Diana, but post level 5, you do have that potential to all in Ziggs, drag him back in from his Hextech Satchel Charge jump as well. So lots of outplay potential for Trovonova onto the Ziggs if they want it. Not surprised to see the Lee Sin into the Rengar. I think it's one of the better picks that you can pick up into this champion. And we're going to see Lux support as well. So I imagine that's Leon playing the Gragas here on the top side of the map. And we're waiting for an AD carry pick. Now, the other thing that we could see flexed is we could see this being a Ziggs Lux bot lane. Just to bear that in mind, Ziggs Lux bot lane, lots of shove potential, very early tower taking potential. It is something that we could see here as the Jarvan and the Lulu round out the comp from Trovonova.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Trovonova, there's some very clear combo potential. Here's going to be the likes of Hydro. Well, not really Hydro. It's going to be the likes of the Jarvan. Then he played into the jungle position, and you're typically going to have him dive, go for that Cataclysm. Then you're going to have, of course, the follow-up of the support play by Grizz. He's going to be going, of course, for the wild growth. So there's definitely some wombo combo potential. I think in terms of pure team fighting potential, Trovonova got a very clear winning condition, which is they set up all the CC, it lands, they win. Tribe Gaming on the other side, though, they got some very good solo carrying champions. I'm thinking of, especially Doom on this Lee Sin. I'm thinking of Snitch, especially on this Ziggs is looking really strong. And also, this is the very first wait, is this the first Ezreal? I don't think so, actually. I might be wrong on that one. I think
it's the first Ezreal of today, yeah. So we've generally seen Kai'Sa, Xayah traded back and forth for the most part. Obviously, Kai'Sa being banned here does mean that we're going to get to see the Ezreal. I'm wondering whether this is actually Rengar top rather than Rengar jungle. Obviously, we haven't had we'll have to see when we get into game, but yeah, it is Rengar top. Yeah. No, it's Rengar jungle. So we're going to see the Jarvan top, which I haven't seen in quite some time, by the way. Have not seen Jarvan top in quite some time. It fell off in popularity a bit recently. So I'm just kind of interested to see how this plays out versus the Gragas.
Yeah. Just to rectify, also, just had information from Jason in the back end. Thank you very much, Jason. But this is actually our second game of Ezreal. There was one that was played in the very first match of
we had the Ezreal Seraphine. Yeah, we had the Ezreal Seraphine.
We did have that.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Thank you, Jason. Our man on the sidelines with the correcting stats.
He's always there to back up and support us. But also, I want to mention something about Tribe that even though this is a team that we've known a lot, of course, just likes of Friend, Doom, Snitch, Leon, that hasn't really changed. But in the past, Clue used to be the support. He was going to be, the sub. He used to be the sub, and he would normally sub in the support role. And Friend used to be the support main. So they still got that big switch, and I'm really... I'm hyped up, actually, super hyped up out of my mind to see how good the synergy is now between the likes of both Friend and Clue blend into this bottom side position, because they're normally both 2 support players, and now Friend going into the Ezreal pick, into the ADC role. As I said, I want to see how good they can actually deal with the likes of Hydra and Grizz, which this has been a duo since the start of the wildrift, really. They've always been playing together as a strong duo, but over here is going to be Doom picked away. They're just going to be doing some pretty severe damage. Satchel Charge to move away, as you mentioned, Excoundrel, so nothing will come of it just yet.
Man, they obviously knew he was there because they had the ward and the pixel brush around the Rift Herald. Doom now going to be forced out of this this bottom Rift Herald. This is really good from Trovonova. They are really putting the pressure on.
I'd love to see it, though. Snitch going to be joining up, making sure they can't steal it away. The smite comes on through for Doom, so he's going to get that one just fine. But yeah, as you said, I think that was a really good fight potential, especially coming out from Hydro. He's just an amazing ADC, and it's been working really good for them. Sure, they don't get the scuttle, but the damage is still there, showing that they are ready to take a fight at literally any single moment here.
Leon's just going to make sure he's not going to get easily dived. He's going to pick up his honey fruit. Snitch, you have to be super careful, my dude. You are in low HP and against the Rengar, who is very close to level 5, and I like this. Snitch going to back off, knows he's in a bit of an awkward spot. Doom used to be the AD carry for Tribe, by the way. Doom used to be the AD, especially early season 1. Doom was the AD carry.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, Doom obviously had a long history in Vainglory, but he also had a very, very good history in League of Legends, having had multiple accounts in Challenger in League of Legends.
Really?
Has,
okay.
Yeah, really, really good game sense about how to play the League of Legends map. And that probably suits him relatively well to be put into the jungle, where a lot of it is that ability to play the map with your brain rather than play the map with your mechanics. Even though obviously Lee Sin, a very intense mechanical skill champion, you have to have the brain for a jungler. And Doom has got that game knowledge, has got the ability to really play the map well, and that's why I think they've kind of shoved him into the jungle role, where he can make those kind of calls and be a bit more active in terms of game decisions.
Not gonna lie, I'm a little bit jealous of the likes of I'm the Doom. Like, he's really good in wildrift. He was one of the best players in Vainglory when he was still up. He's as you just said, I didn't even know that, like, a bunch of challenger accounts on League PC. He's constantly good at any game he plays, and I'm just constantly bad. So I'm a little jealous on that side. So you'll have to teach me.
Some people are legit just good at games. Like Snitch. Snitch went from being a pro Heroes of the Storm player to being one of the best players in Wild Rift. Like, some people are legitimately just good at games.
I want that. I don't know. Yeah.
I'm a boomer though. I'm a giga boomer. I'm 30 this year. You know, my reflexes ain't what they used to be.
Hey, you don't look it, man. You're fine. You're fine. Look, 25. You got a better hairline than me, so you're fine. We'll give you like 25. You're good. There's going to be the jump forward coming out from Vex. He's going to be looking for it. Going to be forcing away right the likes of Doom, so he is not ready. Amrega already dashing out some really severe damage, and that jungle clear speed has been really working well for him when it comes down to those early scuttle controls.
Yeah, and that's a lot of pressure put onto Doom already, as the Mountain Dragon has spawned. That's going to give over the Rift Scuttler as well. So already, like, Tribe in a relatively rough spot, just, you know, being able to kind of focus out this dragon, as well as the fact that you can see that Friend has gone for the Manamune and hasn't actually picked up the Sheen. And without the Sheen, like, Ezreal loses a lot of his burst potential, a lot of his trading potential in these early skirmishes. So I don't think that the roster from Tribe are in a relatively, like, a strong enough position to fight this dragon right now. I think they're actually in the weaker of the two teams in terms of fighting this dragon.
Yeah, we'll see. You got ourselves the Bramble Vest going to be purchased away by the top side, so he's going to be playing with that one for the side of Trovonova. So I don't have an issue with that one. There's a little bit of self-sustaining, especially with Leon. With a passive, he's going to be able to heal a little bit every single time you use an ability, so you're going to chunk a bit of that passive healing away right off the bat. So I'm not against that. I really like the Bramble Vest.
I like it as well. Yeah, I like it as well.
I think it's a pretty good one. So there you go. That's going to be the Drake now up. Is going to be Mountain Drake. So they're going to have a little bit of priority. Top side, Leon's not going to be present for that fight. I'm not sure if he's already got TP. We are 5 minutes in. He could.
Lulu got the blue buff. Yes, it feels bad, man. Lulu got the blue buff.
Oh, really? I can't see it on Lulu.
Stole it away from Doom.
Oh, he's there, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Stole it away from Doom.
Good job. He was getting himself a little bit of extra regen on that one for the side to the end. So 5 minutes into this game, the goalie not really going anywhere. It's just about 1,000 over to Trovonova. So still anyone's game for sure. But the first big fight should be happening, I would say, fairly soon here, Excoundrel.
I mean, both teams giving each other a wide berth at this dragon fight. Like, neither team willing to commit heavily to this dragon fight at this point in time. No one's starting it up or forcing the fight. Both teams, I think, respectfully playing around this first objective. I think when it comes to item spikes, though, you know, you give a bit more time over. If Ezreal goes back and picks up the Sheen, we have the Luden's Echo finished up for Snitch. We have the Leandri's Torment there for the Gragas in the top lane. You don't want to give too much time over to Tribe. You want to try and push your advantage versus this team as quickly as possible, because in terms of scaling, Tribe have got the edge here. Ezreal scales super nicely, especially into the likes of a Rengar and a Jarvan, where he's going to be able to use the Arcane Shift very defensively. Diana, although she has got good engage potential, nice kick from Doom. It's a Ziggs who scales like ridiculously strong.
Oh my God! What?
The little combo! The little combo!
Bomb into True Shot Barrage, and then they're going to be full on engagement. I didn't even expect it to hit that kill in the first place. I was not ready.
Sexy, dude. That was
disgusting.
Sexy. That was so nice. That was just perfectly placed. The coordination from the team to link up those two ultimates onto the Lulu, absolutely beautiful. And what's even a kicker is that Lulu had the heal available. She had the Wild's growth available. She could have survived it. She just wasn't quick enough with the Ezreal True Shot.
Right, do we have 5-head or 4-head? Oh, man, I can't use the 5-head, 4-head emote. If we have it, we need to use it right now. This is time. Time for the 4-head, 5-head emote in chat. That was amazing. Like, the calculation for that to actually hit just on time between both of them, like Fren and also Snitch, really good comms. I mean, they're also a team that we know as a straight up fact, they got some really good communications after having so much synergy and tournaments under their belt. So not really too surprised though. They're going to be actually able to catch out one player out of position, and that was Veos. To force the flash away, explosive cars going to be used, going to be actually putting them even further back to safety. Although topside, you still got yourself split push coming on through from Jarvan, and now they're going to put it down to 50% HP. I would not recommend Vex trying to steal it away. I think this is a fight is not worth taking. He is not going to be trying his luck whatsoever, so that's going to go and give the first Drake over to Tribe.
But they're going to try and force the first turret of the game in the mid lane. With the Ziggs and the Rift Herald, this will be a close race between them and the Jarvan. Unfortunately, oh, no, they're going to get it. First turret of the game. That is absolutely the best thing that you could ask for. You get the dragon and you get the first turret of the game. And yes, okay, you're losing 2 turrets, but they're going to try and push down for this second one in the mid lane.
Inhib? They're going down to Inhib too. I mean, they're looking for more. They gave himself a great Dragon's Rage. Veil's going to be so low. Can he escape? That's a big fat no. That cask is going to be doing severe damage output for Leon, and he gets another play into the mid lane. Though Snitch going to be into that one. He's got the satchel charge. He can escape. Easy peasy, mate. He's looking so comfortable. And Trovonova just lost everything in mid.
Yeah, they lost both mid lane towers. That's a complete open entrance to the blue and red side jungle now for Tribe. Deep Vision comes out. Control of the rivers is absolutely in their favor. And those tier, like, yeah, okay, you lose the tier 1s in these side lanes, but they are so easy to take. Like, you give a moment over to an Ezreal, he's going to pick up that tier 1 on the bot. It's going to be a very quick gold lead that Tribe are able to accelerate through towers if they're able to sort of get some time alone in those side lanes. But a big map advantage now opened up to Tribe. Huge win off the back of that dragon fight, and I really love that they just pushed it, knowing that, you know, Trovonova were looking to cross map in both top and bot side. You know, a lot of teams would have said, okay, happy to take the tier 1 mid, we got the dragon as well, but Tribe said no, we know that it's going to take them a while to back. We've got a second charge of this Rift Herald, we have Ziggs, easy tower takes if we need it. Really good stuff from Tribe.
It's just been amazing, really, so far. Trovonova still, let's not forget, they still got really strong composition. I'm especially looking at their Xayah. I think that Hydra's got just so much potential in this game. If he's able to get the perfect Blade Caller, the big CC, the big burst also follow up. So I still think it's not over, especially because the gold is still so close, as you just mentioned, right? And there's only just 3 kills. So it really is not looking too scary, but Tribe are just seeming so controlling. Like, this is their game, and they're going to be molding it and shaping it of what they make. So I think that it's still not over, but Tribe are actually getting to the point where they're actually going to start building a lead. And the moment that happens, that's where Trovonova must be ready to take the fight. And if they're not, well, that is going to be Tribe. They're going to get a lead, and then they're going to build something huge on top of it.
Yeah, right now the gold is actually relatively even between the two teams. The towers just, I mean, this is why Ziggs is picked, right? Those towers just get destroyed in a matter of seconds. But actually, you're only looking at about 1,000 gold between the two teams right now. On Clue, great binding.
Going to get the Redemption 2. You're going to be able to heal up just in time. Does have the Harmonic Echo too, so he's not going to take him too long to be able to actually heal up from his wounds. So that is the item that I like to see on a Lux played in the support role. Though, Doom, we've got to be careful. We had some great Dragon's Rage so far today in this first game. They're just going to be trying to zone it away. A little bit of poking. They do get the Scuttle. That's big for Trovonova. We've got to be careful because Clemens is going to explode away. Oh, nice flash into the body slam. Leon goes golden instantly, though. A little bit too early, I would even say. Now they're going to be split. Doom is going to be in a 1v3 scenario into the top side, and they are struggling. Tribe, a lot of their players aren't looking the most healthy. But Trovonova looking for the re-engage, and a great True Shot barrage from the Ezreal is looking fantastic. That is the triple. I even believe they got himself a quadra off of that one. And friend, he is absolutely shredding the competition with his Ezreal.
I mean, it's so difficult to lock down the Ezreal with this comp. It's why it was the perfect AD carry pick. I could see where they left it until the red side 5. It is a beautiful pick into both Jarvan, Diana, and Rengar. The one arcane shift can completely undo the team fight that Trovonova are looking to set up. And with Snitch, they're able to pick up the inhibitor turret in the mid lane. Big swing in favor of Tribe. Even though the engage felt a little wonky, the fight looked like it was going relatively even. Friend was able to really pop off. And now has the Muramana activated too. So he's in a very strong spot. Huge amount of gold to go home and spend also. Working towards what's going to be a Blade of the Ruined King, but he also picks up an Executioner's Calling to kind of limit some of the healing that the Rengar could potentially put out too. This is a really good spot for Tribe to be in. The next dragon spawning, I think they are in a commanding lead.
The enemy jungle vision from both teams, actually, for both Trovonova and also Tribe, a little bit weak. Would like to see maybe a little bit more from them to try and get more intel, but it doesn't really matter now. The focus of the fight is going to be towards this dragon pit. Polymorph coming on through. Lost quite a big period of time on Leon, though. Doesn't have the stasis in charge. I believe he used it pretty early in that last fight. Great explosive cast going to put him right into the open arms of Leon. Be suffering more damage than he can actually sustain himself up against. They're still able to turn it around. Trovonova, they're struggling to just even barely survive that fight. The triple kill over to the Lee Sin. That is going to be Doom. He's chasing him down. He wants the pentakill, but he can't quite hit the Sonic Wave, and he will be able to move away. For now, as Leon, he sees him, and he wants to make sure he is not making it alive back to the base.
Oh, Doom
Gets
just about gets away as well. Vex not going to be able to do anything. I think they're going for the end. They are literally ending the game as we're watching Doom here. They are taking down the Nexus. Tribe, off the back of a single team fight around the Baron pit, accelerate the game and take it in a matter of seconds. And that, my friends, is why you ban Ziggs. Ban Ziggs in competitive. It's too easy to take towers.
That was that was an explosive game. I mean, we started things off by taking a look at Tribe and how they were actually on the back foot when it came to initial Dragon, and they didn't have a great position around setting things up for it. But then it seems like a spark ignited. With the Ziggs bomb plus the Ezreal True Shot barrage across the Lulu, that seemed to ignite the entirety of Tribe as they just completely took control of that game from there on. And as you point out, Excoundrel, the Baron fight victory that they had, the Ezreal being just so hard to lock down. He was a friend of no one on the side of Trovonova. And Tribe, in a fantastic fashion, finished off that very first game. And as you pointed out, and Max, I'm going to throw it to you on this one, it's got to be a Ziggs ban, right? It's got to be a Ziggs ban in game 2.
Yeah, hopefully, like we got to see that one just coming on through and getting banned away the instant it comes out. Though we are going to be seeing then, because of the rule set in this tournament, that means that because of the losing side actually going over to Trovonova, they can decide what side they want to play on. So if they want to go back onto the blue side, they still got to be careful to not give so many champions, because the Diana was open, the Lee Sin was open, you still got the Rengar that was open too, even though that is, I don't think it's a must ban, but they tried to play around it. I think that if they want to play blue side again on this second game, they need to be aware that if you let more than one really strong champion through, you're giving it for free over to Tribe, and they're going to take it like they're going to be just so happy to have those for free, especially Doom's like, oh, you're making my job easy, mate. We get the OP champions.
Well, so this goes straight to you, Excoundrel, then, because we did talk about in the ban phase, you talked about how they're really focusing on Leon with the Camille, with the Fiora ban in particular. I mean, you only have one other ban to go in on top of that, which they use on Braum. What could they ban differently to limit Tribe here?
I want to kind of turn the conversation away from the ban, because I think the bans are okay. Don't first pick Rengar. I think Rengar's got value in solo queue. I think Rengar's definitely got value in solo queue because it's messier. People don't really track the jungler as much. People are, susceptible to level 5 ganks and don't know as much how to play around this champion. In competitive, I've seen it twice today, and both times it's fallen flat on its face. Yeah. Both times there's been almost no opportunity to pick off someone, because in Wild Rift it's not like League where the PC League where the map is a lot wider and it's a lot more difficult to group up consistently, because you need to think more about side lane pressure. You might have an AD carry farming in the side lane for a little bit longer. In Wild Rift you just group up as a 5 most of the time, right? You group up as a 5, you brute force objectives, and sometimes you just see them ARAM it mid, like 5 people just randomly ARAM it mid, and very few times do you have people isolated on the map, which is why Kha'Zix and Rengar struggle a little bit. And you saw in this game, Rengar never really found the opportunity to blow someone up, especially from the early game. And that's why I think a blue side 1 Rengar pick doesn't do it for me. Doesn't do it for me whatsoever. I'm not sure Rengar jungle is the way to go. Maybe Rengar tank top lane. We've seen a little bit of that being opened up, and that could have its place. But Rengar jungle's just not doing it for me right now. I don't think it's got the same value in competitive that it has in solo queue.
Now, Max, you did point out the fact that if you lose the first game, you get to choose what side you want to be on. Realistically, with only 3 bans, I mean, I say only 3 bans, right? We're normally used to 2. I still feel like there's a lot of champions that are high priority. Do you think there's any world that exists where Trovonova's like, okay, we'll take red side actually, because we want to be able to pick out 2 very strong champions and give you that first choice away?
Yeah, but that's what they're going to do right now. They're going straight to the red side. So it is still a world where the current meta, even though we are in patch 2.2c now, and I think that Excoundrel could also agree that the meta hasn't really shifted in such a way like, oh, it's completely different. The champions that were good in last patch are still good here, and we still had so many that were so strong in 2.2b that I think that going into red side, I think is a good strat. If I was playing competitive, I would always asked to play red side, because you got those 2 second pick after the first pick going to the blue side. So I think that's okay from Trovonova. They've got to be aware that even if they give just 1 champion for free, it's going to be a dangerous. Just don't give away the Ziggs. That's the one, once again. Just don't give it. If you give it, your towers are gone. You have no towers.
And that's what's interesting is Excoundrel said, like, don't first pick Rengar. Why not first pick Ziggs in that case? But you know what? The second draft phase is ready to go. We're going to hop straight into it yet again here with Max Man Excoundrel. We'll see if we can have Trovonova bounce back and take it to a game 3.
We'll see, because not going to lie, it's been feeling a lot like the ESL Wildrift Premiership right now. 2-0s all day, every day. We did have a third game happening actually on the day 4, so we'll see if that's going to be game 4 taking us to a game 3 for Trovonova versus the likes of Tribe Gaming. But Trovonova said that they were red. No, wait, so they're blue side right now. So, okay, so Trovonova are going to be onto the blue side, and they're going to be actually banning away the Camille first. So once again, focusing really heavily on the Baron lane position, taking stuff away from the likes of Leon. The Malphite, this is the first time we see Malphite, if it's a pick or ban, and it's going to be a ban for Tribe this time.
I mean, from what I remember from seeing Clemares play, he does like to play the Malphite. It's a very strong team fighting tool. Actually, we haven't seen as much priority on Malphite as I thought we would have. The top lane, the Baron lane meta has shifted more towards carry potential Baron laners. But the draft strategy seems to be relatively similar from Trovonova. You keep Camille and Fiora out of Leon's hands. A very mechanically gifted player in the Baron lane for Tribe Gaming. They're going to ban the Lee Sin away from Doom this time round. I wonder if that's leading towards another first pick Rengar for Vex. Not totally sold on the Rengar again, like I said. But Ziggs for me, for Tribe Gaming, unless they feel confident playing into it, maybe you ban it here just to ensure that Trovonova don't get their hands on it.
I think that would be the better option for them all around. But I'm just happy to see the Lee Sin banned. I think that we were seeing Doom like being way too aggressive, especially in the mid game stage. He was just going straight for your backline. He was trying to go for the Dragon's Kick. Minimum, it would force away the Stasis enchant, which we did see happen once those items actually got purchased. But at the end, I think Lee Sin is just a ban that you just can't go up against. I have no issue. Diana, though, still open. It did get played in game 1 by Trovonova. Not too big amount of success, unfortunately, but it did come on through in that one. And the Kai'Sa is going to be the last ban then, meaning Ziggs, once again, 2 games in a row, has been banned for the first 3 series of the day. This one, like, Ziggs is fine. He's not as broken as you might think.
I mean, you have to first
I do think he is.
Like, if you don't first pick Ziggs and you know that Tribe are just going to take it, and you clearly weren't able to punish it as hard as you would have liked to in the previous game. Look, Tribe ain't picking Rengar. I don't think Tribe are picking Rengar, right? So you don't need to blue 1 Rengar. I would much prefer to see a blue 1 Ziggs. If Vejos is comfortable playing it, that's the thing, right? You've got to just remember that it also depends on player. Yeah.
There you go.
This is much better. This is much better because Ziggs is just that good. Like, he's so strong at just being safe in the laning phase, taking towers consistently. Now, if Tribe leave it open, they must know that they have a plan into it. So Tribe must have a plan into Ziggs as a mid laner. So I'm not expecting this to be some sort of wild, like leaving open Ziggs in the ban phase, but they are going to get their hands on the Braum, which was this time left open, and the Gragas is locked in for Leon once more. Strong for him. He had a good performance on it. So they're very comfortable with that very early draft phase.
I'm telling you, if Frayne gets his hands down on the Ezreal again, like you're going to have a Braum Ezreal into the Dragon lane, that is going to be dreadful for Trovonova. They're going to have a real hard time in the entirety of this game. If that's what's going to be coming on through, then it's going to be somewhat similar. They're going to go back for the Xayah and the Lulu once more, so that's going to be Trovonova's double pickup for the Dragon lane's position. So they don't even have to put priority now on the Ezreal if they really don't want to just yet. They could just let it coming on through in the final pick. If it does work and adapts properly to the opposing draft, they're going to go for it just yet, but yeah, they have the Diana open, and Snitch, I believe he's going to be the one playing it in the mid lane position. It would make sense. He would struggle a little bit against the likes of Vejos in the early stage because of that Ziggs, but once he hits that level 5, once he's got that Moonfall, that's where he can really unlock that fight potential versus Ziggs.
Yeah, absolutely. And we know Snitch has played a lot of Diana. If you've been watching his streams, he does play a significant amount of that champion in solo queue. I love that we're going to see the Olaf, though. The Vex's Olaf is a very strong pick for him, combo with the Lulu, but also we're going to see Clemares running the Garen. That is a relatively strong matchup into the Olaf, into the Gragas. Like, Garen does do okay into the Olaf. Oh, I keep saying Olaf. Come on, Excoundrel. That's weird to me. That's a little weird to me because I don't see Kha'Zix as a super strong jungler right now, but maybe Doom just thinking that, you know, alongside the Diana, they're going to be able to separate out the fight. One of the things that I think Kha'Zix synergizes well with is Gragas. Gragas throws the barrel in the middle of the fight. Suddenly you are isolating targets. Suddenly our targets are going to find themselves alone when they're knocked away from the rest of their team. So that might be where we see a bit of synergy opening up between Leon and Doom. But I think much better draft from Trovonova this time around. Garen's in a good spot in the Baron lane, is very strong. Lulu Olaf combo is super good. We know how strong Ziggs is in competitive. And you also have the Xayah Blade Cooler, you know, just to keep ourselves safe versus a very heavy dive team coming out from Tribe Gaming as well.
I'm just really happy to see Garen. I think that Garen is a champion that's been overlooked for the longest time since wildrift came out, and he's finally getting a little bit more of time in the limelight, which I think is great to see. He's played a little bit more in competitive right now. This is the second time we're actually seeing him played in this Battle for the Rift tournament, so yeah, we'll see if there's going to be any amount of success coming on through for the Baron lane for Clemmer. He's going to be facing up against Leon, and I think that here Garen up against a Gragas is an interesting matchup, but still that's depending on what Leon wants to go. And I would love to see Leon go for the tank Gragas build. I think it's great. I don't know if he went AP actually. I wasn't really looking at his build too much last game. What did he go for? Ready?
He went for the AP build.
It was the AP build, okay.
The fact that he's got Electrocute is telling me that he's going AP. You don't take Electrocute if you're going tank Gragas. You go for the Grasp of the Undying. So this is it. This is definitely another sort of AP Gragas build, probably the Leandries first, like we saw previously. Whereas with Clemares, he's running the Grasp of the Undying Garen, which is a very common Garen build right now. Difficult to trade against. You just keep yourself in combat as much as possible, and you just run up to them with your first ability, slap them on the head, and you deal a significant amount of damage with the extra Grasp of the Undying proc.
There you go. Hey, if you want to learn even more about that, go check out Excoundrel on YouTube, guys. Tier list galores all the way. Got to check it out as possible. But here we go. The start of this game just going to be pretty passive. Already a gold lead. It's almost 1,000 actually over to the side of Trovonova, purely based around farming. So they're already looking really strong when it comes down to their CSing role. So hey, I didn't expect that big of a lead, but though they're looking for the double scuttle control. That instant rotation of Doom. They got the bottle scuttle. That it did actually going to be pop up right now. I actually didn't spawn. I know it's a ward actually.
Are they rotating?
It's a sword. It's a ward. It's a ward.
Are they rotating Clue around the jungle with the Kha'Zix early on? Like, what's going on here?
It's a duo, man. We're going to go for it. Okay, yeah, my apologies then. It was not the double scuttle control I thought it was. It was a ward. I got bamboozled by the ward. Satchel charge, moving it away. That's going to be a great way to able to distance yourself away from the likes of that Diana. So no too much of an issue. But yeah, it seemed like he is going to be roaming around the place quite a bit. So I don't have an issue. I mean, he is an Ezreal. Ezreal can take care of himself in lane, which is, I think, a great pickup if that was your game plan from the very start.
Yeah, and also that gold lead that you mentioned, that's purely been generated by having priority in lane. So you had a lot of lanes that had priority, so you're able to shove the enemy laners in from the get-go. And obviously enemy laners, if they're getting shoved in, they're not actually CSing because they're letting the minion wave shove towards them. So, you know, not a massive gold lead, just really kind of built up from having the priority in the majority of your lanes here.
That's a lot of wards. Thank you, Observer. That's a lot of wards towards the bottom side river, but at least if someone roams down there, you should be aware of where they're currently going to be roaming about. Doom's going to be finishing his own blue side jungle, so he might be able to join the fight soon. He's not yet hit level 5, so when he does, that's when he could be looking for those engages. Top side, going to have actually a Leon taking a pretty big skirmish versus Clemmer. The smite comes out. He does have the smite, but the flash will come on through. Leon will not be smited away and hit by the ultimate of Clemmer just yet. But he's going to shove in the tower, and that's going to create even more of a lead, especially in the Baron lane, in favor of Clemmer.
Should be
bottom side. Oh, there you go.
First blood. Bloody hell.
Oh, okay. Didn't even see that. I mean, it was going to be a 4v... no, actually, it was going to be a 3v2 there. So they instantly pick it up onto the likes of the... Oh, wait. Doom's looking for it once more. Hydra going to get a little bit of poke. But yeah, first blood, as you said, 500 gold. So that's now putting it even Steven between these two teams.
And first dragon spawning in 30 seconds, but Doom picking up a very early kill is good for a Kha'Zix. He's one of those junglers that can absolutely snowball out of control. If you give him any kind of leeway, he will do so. And I think when it comes to pure teamfight potential, especially early on into the game, I'm looking towards Tribe having the advantage. You know, that Diana ultimate is picked for a reason. It is absolutely influential, especially versus the squishier targets. You know, combine that with the Gragas ultimate, you combine that with Doom looking to pick people off and isolate them. You know, I'm expecting Tribe to have the edge when it comes to this first dragon fight.
Yeah, I think that this is going to be a really nice early fight for them. They definitely got the composition that seemed like that will be the case. There's no TP yet into the Baron lane, so if they want to join in this fight, they all got to reset, go back to base, and then join, or you want to go for another rotation. Doom going to jump on over, instantly going to be taking a big burst of damage, chunked away by Vex. He's going to be moving away for the time being. Nothing too substantial, just a little bit of poking, a little bit of respect between these two teams, but the dragon did get leashed away. No one's going to go for it just yet, though. We're seeing the fight. Snitch, he's going to be forcing him mid once again. He's in a 1v2, potentially even a 1v3, so he might just lose his life. Also, the ultimate from the Ezreal's going to come on through, and he gets the snipe!
Does he do it?
You must be kidding me, friend. You're just too good at that, Ezreal. Look. Oh my god, what?
How does he do it every time? I mean, Snitch goes down here. It's a 1-for-1 overall, but my goodness. Friend, you need to calm down with those ultimates, dude. You're absolutely insane.
Man. I mean, True Shot Barrage, definitely the ability the friend has been able to outshine the opposition with. Talk about American sniper, man. We got our own European sniper, apparently. It's going to be in the name of Friend. And as I said, he was typically a support main. And now he's in the ADC position, and he's been just performing, at least on this matchup today, just been doing amazingly well. Now it's going to be a follow-up. The entire team's going to join. Snitch not there, though. So they're going to be surrounded. They are not ready. It is going to be secured away regardless by Doom. And now they're going to leave that fight. Nice. Clue jumps on over. After is going to be the Arcane Shift from the Ezreal. Another True Shot Barrage. Not going to connect this time around. Very out of the ordinary for Friend, but nothing comes after.
Klamara's just used his ultimate randomly. That wasn't the best play.
Oh, there you go. That was a great engage. Body slam into the Moonfall. That is the wombo combo you love to see, but unfortunately nothing follows up because they both lose their life. The combo was good. The follow-up was not there, and Tribe lose 2 players for ultimately nothing.
Yeah, Klamara is... I think that... They went in for the same reason that I thought they were going to go in. You just saw Klamara's waste his ultimate on a full HP Snitch. It did absolutely nothing. And so I'm assuming Tribe just said, whoa, well, that's the Garen ultimate gone. Execute potential down. Let's just go. But as you said, the follow-up wasn't quite there. But a Friend wants to go for it. Snitch now popping off.
There you go. Veos going to have to move away from that fight entirely. Not going to be able to take that fight any further. Feels bad, man. Scuttle control over to Doom, so that's going to be the Herald position to their advantage. Cross-mapping coming out from Trovonova. I'm okay with it. But if we see exactly what happened in Game 2 Excoundrel, which was they got themselves 1 Herald, they picked 2 towers in mid plus a plate on the native tower in mid, that is not a worth trade if it goes exactly like that. So Tribe, they got it. They got the key. Now we'll see if they can actually unlock the door.
Yeah, exactly. They were able to make really good use. But against the Ziggs, I don't see that happening. The wave clear is a lot better Trovonova this time round, so you're going to find it more difficult to just kind of shove down a lane, and you don't have the same kind of like instantaneous engage. The only people that you really have for the engage are Leon and Snitch, and you need to wait for like ultimates to be up, and your team needs to be a lot more coordinated than Lee Sin just going in and kicking someone out and trying to isolate them. So I don't think Tribe are going to get the same level of opportunity they got in the previous game, mainly because it's much easier for Trovonova to manage the waves with the picks that they've got this time round. Trovonova in a much better spot. 3k gold.
Isolated.
Lead. Yeah.
Oh, isolated. Nice damage into the satchel charge. There was actually a big play into the Mega Inferno bomb. Nice damage. Nice follow-up engage. Also, man, it was so damn close, and it was a 1v3. Almost went over to the Ziggs. So really good attempt, though Trovonova going to have to move away. Oh, man, this game's got me tensed up. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, dude, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I genuinely think Trovonova have drafted much better this time round. Again, leaving Ziggs open is cocky as hell. I'm just going to say it.
No, whoa! Oh, I thought he was going to let him go. I think that was actually the red buff burn damage that actually got it just in time. It will be a one-on-one trade-off. Now they've got the Herald, and they're going to do something very similar, as you just talked about. Only Ziggs, he's going to get dived into the move for the CC, and he's isolated too. See you later, mate. You're not longing for this world.
That was super nice from Tribe, as you mentioned, just looking for that opportunity to dive in. And that's where Ziggs falls against the Diana if she gets that engage potential, isolating him up for Doom to be able to secure the kill. Another charge coming through. I don't think this is going to be a 2-tower take for Tribe this time round, but the mid lane tier 1 opening up is a nice start for them. This is, again, a good retaliation from Tribe after what was a very, very rough early game. Goodness me.
Yeah, they're doing like me when I go on Wikipedia doing some homework. They do copy, paste, repeat. What they did in game 1, they're doing it back in game number 2. And they're going to have a good amount of success. Though the gold lead is still inching in favor of Trovonova. Sure, it's very slight. It's very small. It's just about 1,000. But the Infernal Drake also makes it somewhat in favor of Tribe. So actually, it doesn't really need too much in the grand scheme of things. But this is going to be the next Drake. It's going to be the Mountain one, though. Top side, you're going to have the dive coming on through from Snitch. Though it is a pretty tanky Clamaris, so he's not going to be threatened too heavily.
Oh, he was just a little bit too late. He waited too long.
I thought for a second that was going to come out. But man, I got to say, this is the first time I've seen a Kha'Zix in competitive, and it is looking clean from what Doom is doing.
The problem is there are just limited opportunities to make Kha'Zix work. It's not like a Jarvan or a Snitch has to be careful here.
Double Moonfall. Okay, see you later, mate. That day, Clemmer says goodbye. Gets it done. Snipe from a distance actually coming out from Friend, but bottom side, that is the 1v2 tower dive. I believe they got themselves to tower, potentially very soon. Explosive cast, no way, Veos. You survive that one. He's burning a little bit. The cast comes out, trying to zone him away from that heal, and they are not able to get it. Tribe lost everything on that dive, and not able to quite get Veos, but they still got a lead that is not going to be putting them too far back, but that's what feels bad, man.
I mean, they're going to lose tier 2 in the top lane as well here. They don't even have the pressure to go for this dragon either. This is not a good look for Tribe. I mean, Trovonova really taking over this game right now.
Yeah, I do like that Hydro did use actually that Feather Storm. If not, he would have been hit by the concussive. He would have been hit by Clue, and then he would have got a concussive blow ability stacked, and then he could have got the follow-up with Leon's body slam. So that could have got really scary. So I'm actually not against the fact he did pop that ulti as a really big defensive measure. There you go, Drake, and can they contest it away? Unfortunately, no. Maybe a Mega Inferno Bomb if it's time properly. Oh my! I really thought for a second there, but not quite. As now Veos, he's got nothing. He used the satchel charge. He's going to get engaged upon big damage from the moonfall of the Diana. Snitch doing God's work in this game. Nothing goes down just yet.
You can see the strength of the Garen, though. With the build that he's got, the Sunfire into Force of Nature, you are tickling him if you're Tribe at this point. He is just shrugging off the damage, and he always has the threat of that execute. He doesn't really need the extra damage to make that execute more threatening. It's always going to be, almost one-shotting people below 25% HP, even as a full tank Garen. So Clamara is really just shining on the front line right now for Trovonova, and they are 3k up, almost 4k up over Tribe this time round. And that's really just come through the ability for them to focus down these turrets across the map. They've taken the tier 1 bot, 2 turrets in the top lane, and because the wave clear is so strong, with both the Xayah and the Ziggs, it's very difficult for Tribe to actually find these angles to take the turrets of their own.
Yeah, Trovonova really going plus ultra in this second game. They're going to become All Might in this one. There you go. Baron is going to be up. Vision control. Man, nice deep vision. We have to say very close to that red buff on the top side of the jungle of Tribe. So Trovonova seem like they listen a little bit about the weak jungle vision. So they're going to be a little bit more aware of their surroundings. I really enjoy how they're playing this one so far. Yeah, they really got a lot more chances. Look like they've learned and improved of what happened in game 1 in the second game, and they're potentially looking to push into a game 3. Like, this is still anyone's game, very, very clearly. Despite the 2 Drakes going over to Tribe, the fights are still drastically close, which I'm enjoying. And Trovonova has really proven that they are a team that's able to adapt over a very short period of time.
Jason said it. This is the ticket match of the day. Like, a lot of people were expecting most of the games to be one-sided, apart from this match. This was going to be the hardest fought match of the day. We saved the best for last, and Trovonova clearly proving that they are not, going to be a team that essentially drops to the side of Tribe. And Tribe actually struggling to close out on this one, and actually really just needing to grasp some neutral objective gold back. I mean, look at this. Every time, I don't know where that ultimate was going, but every time, Tribe look to step up to a tower, they're getting the wave cleared away from under their feet. They cannot get enough time on these side lane towers to actually claw back some neutral objective gold.
Uh-oh, they're getting surrounded. You can see a Tribe here. They got information. They see that there's still 3 players into the top 50% of the map, so they were trying to push it down. Not able to find anyone out of position is going to force a very big recall reset from Trovonova. So they're just moving as a team like Tribe. They want a 5-on-5 team fight. They are not taking anything less than a 5-on-5. You've got to be careful, though, Doom. Taking a lot of damage. Already down to 50%. Nern, you're the one that's going to dive. Him being that low is a little bit scary, so I would say, there you go. Just heal up with also that smite. You're going to get yourself back to 100% health. So he's looking pretty good. As you said, yeah, ticket match. It's really impressive to see, and I would love to see this one go to a game 3 because I do think these 2 teams really deserve to go to the next stage, and that's why it's so unfortunate, right? It's single elimination. Whichever team loses this series is gone, and I would love to see another round robin in this one, but this is why the pressure is an all-time high for these 2 teams.
Absolutely, it's a single elimination. You put 1 foot wrong here, you're out. Trovonova, if they make one single mistake, I've got to be careful. There's the True Shot Barrage coming. And it does it again! Friend.
You gotta stop those, mate. Give them a time to chill, man. They can't be safe. You're in your base. Like, man, you're not safe. Friend is still there, and he's gonna take you down.
Yeah, that was, again, somehow perfectly placing the Ezreal ultimate. Predicting the flash as well. I mean, Vex has to be super careful.
Ragnarok away, mate. Gotta get out from that one. Gonna get hit away. Nice. Blade Caller could go into the Feather Storm. Gonna be able to get a little bit of damage from that. Not too shabby, but still, they lose a player.
They forced the teleport,
So you can't really take too much. At least the Baron does not come on through. So still a lot of precious time bought by Trovonova, but Clemmy, you gotta be careful. That's a bush! You don't want to face check. You just get a little bit further away.
He's tanky. He's tanky. I mean, with the 2 items that Doom has got, he's not suddenly going to start taking over. I mean, despite Doom doing relatively well, he's like 2,000 gold down on Vex, who has just been farming in the jungle. I mean, that's one of the problems with Kha'Zix. He's not exactly a farming jungler. So if you can't find the edge in terms of kills and snowball that way, it's very difficult to keep up with a jungler like Olaf, who will just eat camps for breakfast. He's just going to storm through them. Doom has to get his gold sources through other areas, like, forcing neutral objectives or getting big, sort of big picks and snowballing in terms of kill gold. not totally sold on the Kazakhs right here. I don't think it's had the impact that many other picks could have had for this game for Tribe.
I do like, though, this one mechanic that I think that we also got to keep in mind is that oh, wait. Leos, you're in deep waters. I'm going to be going for it. He's going to go back to base. Okay. One thing that I found really interesting is at one point we saw Doom into the top side, and you've got his passive that procs when it shows if a champion's going to be isolated. And he actually saw that the Ziggs was not isolated. He had a player right next to him in the bush, so he knows sometimes by using a passive properly that he's going to be outnumbered. So it's still something that I think he's been using pretty well. So respect to him. The mid tower still stands strong for Tribe. The fact that they got a hold of that for the entirety of this game, 15 minutes in of that first mid lane tower, and it's still up on 2 plates, is making it very easy for them to retract and move backwards while also still having a really good home base to fight from.
It's still a super even game, though. 4K at 15 minutes into the game is absolutely diddly squat. It means nothing for these two teams. So we are looking at even Stevens, really, across the board. Plus the hidden gold that dragons provide. Like, the dragon, 6% damage from the Inferno, the shield, and the movement speed. These are all stats that you can't really apply monetary value to easily, but they count for gold because of the stuff that they actually end up giving you. Overextension from Tribe, though, here.
Uh-oh, Leon, Mega Inferno Bomb. That's a lot of chunk damage onto the side of Tribe. Glacial Fissure going to peel a little bit away, and he will actually be able to pick up the kill onto the Olaf. See you later. That is going to be Olaf already dead in this one. And Trovonova actually able to win it. What a great fight. This is why you ban away the Ziggs, mate. Also, the damage is nutty in that tower. It is not going to stand a chance if they want to push it. It seems like the focus for them is now the Baron.
I mean, I have no idea what happened there, but
yeah, that was weird.
Everybody was in a clustered little group, and that's where Ziggs absolutely shines. Not only is he insane at pushing towers, he's also insane in teamfight situations. They're going to immediately bop Snitch here. We look like we're going to a game 3, ladies and gentlemen. Trovonova. And honestly, the audacity to just leave Ziggs open and expect to be able to deal with it, not impressed. I think you need to get this champion off. There's a reason it's been 100% pin, pick ban. If this is a Trovonova win, it's going to be 100% win rate for Ziggs on the day as well. Ban Ziggs. He's just too strong and competitive.
Yeah, I think, though, we still got to say that fight was a clear mistake from Tribe. It was an overstep. Okay, we're going to have a 4-man connection on that True Shot Barrage, apparently, for Frame. But it was clearly a mistake on their end, and they suffered from that mistake severely. They lost a lot of their players. They gave the Baron over. Trovonova still got that Baron buff up as a 5-man crew, so it's not over. I still think Tribe can still take it, but those mistakes, they have no place in this game. Oh my god, Friend just got chunked down. I said oh my god a lot here.
That was one bomb, and half his HP just disappeared. That is disgusting. I agree with you, though. The positioning of that fight was terrible for Tribe. Like, there was no reason for them to be pushed that far up in lane. I'm guessing they just didn't have the vision. To know that they were getting flanked from both sides.
Yeah, I think they were just a little bit unaware, as you just rightly said. Leon going to go for the explosive cast onto Veils. That's perfect. He's golden for a small period of time. He will be able to flash back to safety. The teleport comes on through. The Mega Inferno Bomb is just chunking away at the health of Tribe. They lose another player. That's going to be Clues. See you later, mate. Back to the fountain you go. And that was such a good engage, but even then, they just couldn't turn it into anything bigger here, Excoundrel.
Yeah, I mean, that's the power of Ziggs. Just how much damage is this guy doing in these fights? And once he's got the stasis, he has the flash, it's so difficult to lock him down. I understand that I'm guessing the Kazakhs was picked specifically to try and isolate him and make it easier to take out that threat on the backline, but it just hasn't worked out. Hasn't actually come to fruition here for Tribe. And they have yet to find a strong team fight. I mean, Snitch going in here, but the Garen is just too tanky at this stage.
Yeah, I was going to say Climaris is just vibing. Hydro, another great explosive cast. He's just smurfing at Leon this time around. Hydro still got the stasis. Stasis is just ruining all the chance of Tribe to go for an engage. Smite comes on through. Great stuff on Clem on the Garen. And they will be able to make it alive still as a 5-man crew. They're just escaping with their life every single time. That's the fight continuing. Oh, damn. They're going for it once again, man. This is a long fight. Snitch going to have to go golden once more. They're going to try and leave that fight. You did have the Ragnarok from Vex, not available anymore. They know that if he gets hit by the CC, the body slam after the flash, that's exactly what they need. They are making the comeback currently happen here, Excoundrel, with 2 kills to their name. Down goes Clemmer. Down also goes the Ziggs. And now with the Dragon up, it is going to be an Elder. They are getting every single Dragon of this game.
It's Elder Dragon. That's a big one. If Tribe can convert it, there's a huge amount of gold that waits in. And you can see that Doom just looking for an isolated Hydro. The teleport's coming through. They need to fight this. They need to go for the engage.
Yeah, if you give this one over for free, I'm not sure if Trovonova can make it happen, but this is going to be a 3v4. It is not looking comfortable. and he's going to have to use the Ragnarok. They're going to lose potentially Grizz. The support is down. Maybe the second. Hydra is able to just barely survive, but the bare skin of his teeth. And they're going to have to move away. Another one that's going to be hitting the minions. That's fine. Okay, he still gave it his best shot, but now they're going to put their focus back onto the Elder. I mean, they wanted a kill. It was a threat. They got the kill, and now that's easy Drake.
I mean, Garen is going to be respawning. Another teleport coming through here. Looks like it's Ezreal teleporting into the fight. Snitch there as well. Trying to punish Vex to go for this engage.
He doesn't have the Ragnarok anymore. I mean, what are you going to do, mate? Exactly nothing at all. Back to the Drake they go. Veos, can he snatch it away? That's a big fat no. Veos is now going to be left alone with also Clemmer, so not quite alone, but with the Baron about to spawn. This is looking like it was going the way of Trovonova, but not anymore, man. Not anymore.
They overstep, and Tribe take everything from them. They are going to step onto this Baron now. Snitch now looking for the frontline engage. Maybe if Vejos oversteps. I wonder what Trovonova can do here to try and punish Tribe, but I don't think there's much. Tribe are going to get two massive neutral objectives in the late game. They were gifted them by the Trovonova team.
Yeah. Bot lane tower is going to also fall. That's going to be some extra gold increase to their name of Tribe. They're going to phone a bomb. That damage, though, is nutty. He's going to be top damage of this game for sure. There's no point to contest it. Clemmer, though, okay, you're really going for it, mate. So he's going to be completely taken down. Nice wild growth. Going to get a little bit of CC added to the mix. Satchel charge. Got to be careful. Veos is looking for the kill. No able to get it just yet. Clemmer is not looking healthy. Down 50. He's healing a lot, though. And he's going to be moving on back. But yeah, Clemmer, you got to wait for your teammate.
And finally, that tier 1 in the top lane might actually be opened up here. Got to be a little careful because that mid lane inhibitor turret is within minuscule amounts of a Ziggs bomb being able to take it down. But goodness gracious, the comeback from Tribe and the late game Diana tower taking. Look at late game Diana tower taking. That's the one thing that they nerfed from the attack speed because their late game tower taking was insane. Just don't overextend here, Tribe. Looks like they are though. Snitch has to be careful.
And Veos just ulted with the Mega Inferno Bomb, the entire minion wave of cannon minions. And because of the Baron buff, they just take almost nothing right now. I still think the Baron minions are a little bit too good in the current landscape of the game.
They're too good.
They're too good. We need to nerf it right, please. Body slam into the flash. Leon's doing it again, but he just can't get the kill to Veos just yet. The base is standing strong, but it's just getting taken down brick by brick. The moonfall is big. They got all the CC that they need. The focus is now not on the team, but now on the Nexus. And they close it off 2-0 as Tribe move on to the semi-final.
How did they do it? How did they do that? They did not deserve that win, but they pull it out from the jaws of defeat. It was a simple overstep from the team from my brain's gone blank because of that ending.
Trovonova,
that was a simple overstep from Nova. Yeah, simple overstep from Nova at the base. They had this game in the bag. They could have played it slow. They could have just worked up with the Ziggs and taken the inhibitor turrets, but they just got too greedy on the engage around the top lane inhibitor turret, and somehow Tribe just pull out swing after swing. They played that Elder Dragon fight perfectly, by the way. They didn't overcommit to it. They peeled off when Vex took an overstep. They took out one member by one member, and then took the Dragon when it was super safe to do so, converting the death timers that they staggered into the Baron, which allowed them to secure the game up versus the Ziggs. Ziggs' biggest counter is Baron. As Max correctly said, the Baron minions take no bloody damage. So, Ziggs couldn't clear the waves effectively. I can't believe Tribe won that game. I actually cannot believe it, Jason.
I mean, I think a lot of it came down to the split-second decision-making. Look at Leon at the very end, right, with the Gragas. What does he do when they're starting to push towards that middle inhibitor turret? He spots out Veos by himself on the Ziggs. He body slam flashes into him directly, trying to burst him down. He has his zonies to keep him alive, but he forces Veos back immediately to keep him out of the fight. We saw that happen so often as well with Doom and Stitch trying to work together to isolate him in particular, which did work a couple of times. But as you point out, Excoundrel, that overcommitment when they took the top inhibitor for Trovonova I'm talking about, after taking tier 2 mid, they stayed too long, they got caught up, they lost too many people, and they gave Tribe the snowball effect back into it. And for some reason, Trovonova kept trickling in one by one. They had teleports, they knew they had to contest Elder Dragon, but they kept losing too many players, and eventually Tribe were able to stand up tall enough to get the Elder Dragon, to get the Baron, and to push for the finish. Max, it's not very often we see comebacks. I mean, it wasn't the biggest comeback in the terms of a 20,000 goal differential between the two teams, but everything was going Trovonova's way, and Tribe held strong.
It's just been great, especially we know Excoundrel, we've known Leon for a while, and we know that he's a really confident player, and he was like, I'm going for the engage. I don't care if you guys follow me or not, I'm going for it. Flash into the body slam into the explosive cast. It forced almost every single time a stasis enchant, and the response was big. The moment that stasis enchant was not there, they're gone. Instantly going to be Thanos snapped away into oblivion. So I think that their tribe, of course, there was that one mistake in mid where it almost did cost them the entire game because they lost the Drake. They didn't lose the Drake, but they lost the Baron. They lost a bunch of towers. They gave the gold lead back in favor of Trovonova. So there was still that little mistake that I want to give a lot of respect to Trovonova. They did punish Tribe in many big ways. As you said, Excoundrel also, like, they got too confident in the top side, and because of that, they just floofed it completely.
Yeah, it was a complete throw. It was actually a complete throw. Like, that was a one game for Nova if they wanted to just play it slower. But it was a big throw, like we said. And honestly, a massive props to Tribe, because they were almost 10k gold down in that game. Like, there was a significant lead at some point that they had to kind of claw their way back from. And they just played that dragon fight perfectly. I love the way they staggered the deaths into the Baron, and then they're able to just like shove down the Baron wave, knowing that Ziggs cannot clear against Baron minions as effectively. And a very, very confident, two really confident Leon engages. One to save the game, the second to end the game. Leon on this Gragas just popping off, dude. Yeah, I think out of our big, honestly, I think out of our big four though, Jason, I don't think Tribe looked the cleanest. I think Tribe are definitely coming in as the weaker of our big four, just based on what we've seen. But the clutch from them was insane.
I don't know if I fully agree with that statement, because I feel like they had their toughest opponent out of any other game that happened today. But I will agree with you. I mean, if you look at game one, they like a snap of the fingers, they just completely kicked into gear and closed things out. And at least here, even with some couple of mistakes being made, and we know how important it is to not make mistakes, because that's what the game of Wild Rift is in my head. It boils down to who makes the most mistakes and who capitalizes off those mistakes the most. But for a 22-minute game, only 27 kills in total. Like, we talk about Leon and we're building him up. I mean, he was only 1, 2, and 5. But there wasn't a lot of kills in total. But the decisions you were making, like the body sense we talked about, was enough to help carry them through. Even Stitch as well had some great engagements. Clue, his Glacial Fissures were outstanding at some points, with zoning just as alone.
I want to just pick on that point. Even though Leon was 1, 2, and 5, it's not about the kill score at the end of the day. It's about what you're doing in the game, and Leon absolutely popped off. I think you're right. I think I may be unfair to Tribe there. I think they did clearly have the hardest opponent. So it was much more of a scrap. I mean, the first game was still dominant from them, right? So maybe I'm being too harsh on them, because I know the guys really well. But I think realistically they'll be very happy that this is a 2-0 victory for them, because that was a close game against Trovonova, and Trovonova should have won it. Honestly, they really should have won it. But I've got to give credit to just the in-game decision making around those fights from Tribe Gaming. I don't think we've seen that kind of clutch decision making from any of their other teams, but maybe because the other teams haven't had to make those kind of clutch decision making moments.
Well, you can see here our brackets recapping what all happened today. 2-0s across the board, though some of those 2-0s weren't necessarily as close as it shows, and as close as some of the other as well. We saw Na'Vi walk over Vampire Esports in their initial game. Team Queso had a little bit of a tougher time against Clash, but still closed things out. And Game Lord taking a quick 2-0 against Fast Pay Wildcats. Honestly, looking at the matches we have coming up tomorrow here, Max, I'm excited. We have a rematch from Baron Fight with Na'Vi up against Team Queso. We have Game Lord under the new, Singularity under the new banner of Game Lord, and Tribe giving up the victory of Trovonova. We have so many spicy matches to come up tomorrow.
I mean, we had so many rivalries, too, throughout the history of European tournaments yet for Wild Rift, because at the start, it was Singularity versus Trovonova. Then it turned into now Team Queso versus Na'Vi. That's the big rivalry. And we're going to see the conclusion of that rivalry hitting tomorrow. And then we're going to have a new birth of a rivalry, seeing who's going to be actually heading into the finals. So I'm really intrigued to see what's going to come out from it. We can see the schedule that's going to be happening tomorrow for our 2 semifinals. They're both going to be BO3. Going to start off with Na'Vi versus Team Queso, followed up with Game Lord versus Tribe. These are going to be just 2 matches where literally at the start of the day for the 4 matches, we could very clearly say which team seemed like they had an advantage, who we thought was going to play it. And I'm not going to lie, we were right on with all of them. This is now 2 matches where I'm like, I have no idea who's going to win, because it is actually that close.
I agree with you. I think we all kind of came into this and said the quarterfinals, we can kind of see where the teams are going to win. We kind of know from past experience which of the teams are the strongest coming into this, even though Trovonova made this bloody hard for Tribe in that final game. I come into this and I can't, especially for the first game, can't call a winner. I would lean towards Game Lord in the Tribe Gaming Game Lord matchup, but I think it's going to be extremely close. I think we are going to go to a full game 3. But for Na'Vi and Queso, and that's a coin flip for me. Like, it's really difficult to tell which of those teams are going to come out on top.
I mean, Max, looking at Na'Vi and Queso in particular, we talked about with Baron Fight, that was a very tough match for both those 2 teams. Na'Vi never really got the opportunity to just crack open a game and run with it, whereas Team Queso, they did have to push themselves extremely hard to beat the kings of what we've seen in Europe. And for me, that game's really going to determine, I think it's like a little bit of a a rivalry, a little bit of a bloodbath between the two to crown themselves as like, yeah, for Team Queso, we can beat you more than once because no team beat Na'Vi when it came to the league stage of Trovonova. But then you have Na'Vi looking to reclaim the glory. I think for me, the most exciting part though, Max, is that one of these 4 teams at the end of the day tomorrow, they're going to be able to call themselves the best in Europe and potentially start a legacy for themselves, because this is one of the biggest European tournaments we've had for Wild Rift. And this is your chance to really get your name out there, get your team out there, and really going on further into the year with the Worlds that's been teased later on the year, a start, a good first step forward to being the best in the world.
Yeah, I think that especially I was remembering after the Baron fight, like we both cast that one together, Jason, and I got to say, by far, since I started casting Wild Rift, that was the most hype series I've ever casted for Wild Rift, so it was an insane matchup. But I do think that, and I've seen a few comments roam around the internet about people saying, oh, Team Queso, they only won 1 match versus Na'Vi, because Na'Vi remained consistent, as you said, undefeated throughout the entirety of the Baron fight. If they make it happen once, that's fine. If they make it happen twice, now that's Team Queso making a true statement that we're not only just won 1 game versus Na'Vi, we are indeed better than Na'Vi. So that's the first game tomorrow. I just can't wait to get there.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a banger for semi-final, but I don't want to draw away from the other semi-final too, like Game Lord versus Tribe. These are two of the teams with the players that formed the teams earliest on into the Wild Rift circuit. Like, these are 2 teams that have got some of the longest standing high elo and pro players in our European circuit as a whole. And Tribe, as Max said, are one of the few teams that have made very few roster changes throughout their entire sort of tenure as a team, and have continued to perform at the highest level with few roster changes, which is not every team can say. Just shows growth of a team as a whole. So really, really excited. I mean, we have got some absolutely insane semifinals tomorrow. They're going to be nutty.
I want to once again give a shout out to our sponsor here, Mobile Gaming Corp, as they're doing a giveaway in chat. If you type !giveaway, you can be directed to a link where you can enter for your chance to win one of 10 $50 gift cards. You can spend that on skins, particularly when it comes to Wild Rift. I know Max has been hooking me up quite a bit when it comes to skins. I got my Lux skin. I got my God King Darius skin. I'm ready to go. And also, again, big shout out here to Giant Slayer for putting on this entire event for Battle for the Rift. Now, tomorrow we'll be kicking off our semifinals and going straight into our grand finals, which, as Max said, will be a best of 5. And it all kicks off the same time as we started today at 1700 CEST. So make sure to set your clocks and make sure to come on back here for the finals kicking off tomorrow.